Okay, guys, don't be mad at me. I've decided to switch things up. I'm taking a different road here. I know that I told everybody that I would be doing the Midnight album reaction next, but I'm not. Honestly, I put a good amount of thought into this. I've really been thinking about it, and since we've already gone through a few different albums, and what I've noticed in those albums is Taylor Swift is a bit of a chameleon. She seems to be able to jump from genre to genre fairly effortlessly. Now, as fun as it would be for me just to jump to the albums that everybody thinks that I'm going to enjoy and really dissect those just right away, I'm trying to get the big picture with Taylor Swift. I want to see how her writing styles have progressed over the years. I want to see her vocal performances get better over the years. I want to see how her tone has shifted and changed. I want to see what influences have actually influenced her music. And to do all that, I really should start at the beginning for a couple reasons. Now, don't be angry with me on this one, but I want to start with this one because there is no Taylor version yet. And when there is, I'm sure I'll react to that. But since they are the original recordings with her voice from when she was 16 years old singing this, and it's going to have that kind of projection to it, I really wanted to absorb that and really just get a good idea of her foundation. And the second reason is because not only have I been doing album reactions, but I've also been accompanying these reactions with live performances around that album's era, to really get a perspective of what kind of performer she was at that time. So I feel like starting at the beginning and just going in chronological order might be beneficial for myself and might be kind of fun for you guys as well. Anyway, what do you say we get right on into it, shall we? Okay, first one up is a song called Tim McGraw, and I believe this was the first single that was actually released.
He said the way my blue eyes shine, put those Georgia stars to shame that night. I said that's a lie. Just a boy in a Chevy truck that had a tendency of getting stuck on back roads at night, and I was right there beside him all summer long. And then the time we woke up to find that summer gone. But when you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the one we dance to all night long. The moon like a spotlight on the lake. When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me.
I knew this album was going to be country going into it. Everybody had told me that's kind of where her roots started. And I was a little worried about this. Personally, I'm not a big country fan because I just don't like too much of that twang. I'm not sure how this album is going to progress, if there's going to be a lot of that or not. But I did want to be kind of forthright with you guys, just saying that. So far, the song's not too bad, though. It's country, but it has more of like kind of a folksy type of vibe to it, which I can definitely appreciate a little bit more. Seems like she's reminiscing or talking about somebody that she doesn't want to forget her, that might be doing something else with their lives, and just kind of reminiscing about this moment they shared together enjoying Tim McGraw. It's kind of sweet so far.
September saw a month of tears, and thanking God that you weren't here to see me like that. But in a box beneath my bed is a letter that you never read from 3 summers back.
What's in the letter?
It's hard not to find it all a little bittersweet. And looking back on all of that, it's nice to believe. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the one we dance to all night long.
She's layering her voice.
Like a spotlight on the
She has some kind of backup singer.
When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black.
A male backup singer.
Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me. And I'm back for the first time since then. I'm standing.
I like the dramatic bells.
And there's a letter lives on your doorstep, and the first thing that you read is when you think Tim McGraw. I hope you think my favorite song. Someday you'll turn your radio on. I hope it takes you back to that place.
I wonder when he came back, the first letter that he read is that initial letter that's been under her bed for 3 years.
When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me. Oh, think of me. Said the way my blue eyes shine put those Georgia stars to shame that night. I said that's a lie.
Okay, not bad actually. I have heard of this song in the documentaries and whatnot. It's interesting because she honestly cares what this guy thinks years later. She doesn't want him to have to see her cry. I also have to remember that these songs are also being voiced by a teenager. These songs and the narrative that she's projecting for us is telling a story of embarrassment and a bit of angst. But at the end of the day, it feels like a sweet love story. I really want to know what's in that letter and if he actually got the letter. And I want to know why Taylor thinks that he's lying to her. Yeah, overall, not too bad. I don't mind this one. All right, moving on to the second track. It is called Picture to Burn. Let's check it out.
Didn't get my perfect fantasy. I realize you love yourself more than you could ever love me. So go and tell your friends that I'm obsessive and crazy. That's fine, you won't mind if I say. And by the way, I hate that stupid old pickup truck. You never let me drive. You're a redneck heartbreak who's really bad at lying. So watch me strike out a match on all my wasted time. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another picture to burn.
She's kind of brutal.
There's no time for tears, I'm just sitting here planning my revenge. There's nothing stopping me from going out with all of your best friends. And if you come around saying sorry to me, my daddy's gonna show you how sorry you'll be. Cause I hate that stupid old pickup truck. You never let me drive. You're a redneck heartbreak who's really bad at lying. Watch me strike out a match on all my wasted time. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another picture to burn.
Taylor she loves the people that she loves. You know, the people that she loves, she will write about and she will romanticize about, and she will indulge in like the beautiful aspects of them. But if she has discarded you or she does not like you, she is kind of brutal. And whoever this redneck is, he has officially been discarded. Yeah, see, I like the banjo. It's a cool ass instrument.
And if you're missing me, you better keep it to yourself. Cause coming back around here would be bad for your health. Cause I hate that stupid old pickup truck. You never let me drive. You were redneck heartbreak who's really bad at lying. So watch me strike out a match on all my wasted time. In case you haven't heard, I really, really hate that stupid old pickup truck. You never let me drive. You're a redneck heartbreak who's really bad at lying. So watch me strike out a match on all my wasted time. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another picture to burn. Burn, 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 baby, burn. Just another picture to burn. Baby, burn.
Oh my God. She sounds so young in this one. I don't mean that from like the lyrics or any of that. I mean her actual natural tone. I cannot wait until we get the Taylor version to hear this song. I really want to see what she's going to do with her cadence, and I really want to see what she's going to do with, you know, the natural tone of this song. It's pretty brutal. I'm very interested to hear how this is going to sound with more mature vocals. But I think overall, man, this song is pretty fun. It's got a cool hook to it. It's got a great melody. If you were dead to Taylor, you are dead to Taylor. She was going to burn you to the ground. But overall, yeah, man, I thought this was pretty fun. A nice little bouncy song. This one's not too bad. All right, next up is Teardrops on My Guitar, the radio single remix. Maybe they had to shorten it or something for radio play.
Drew looks at me. I fake a smile so he won't see that I want, and I'm needing everything that we should be. I'll bet she's beautiful, that girl he talks about, and she's got everything that I have to live without. Drew talks to me. I laugh 'cause it's just so funny, but I can't even see anyone when he's with me. He says he's so in love, he's finally got it right. I wonder if he knows he's all I think about at night. He's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar, the only thing that keeps me wishing on a wishing star. He's the song in the car I keep singing, don't know why I do. Drew walks by me. Can he tell that I can't breathe? And there he goes, so perfectly, the kind of flawless I wish I could be. She better hold him tight, give him all her love. Look in those beautiful eyes and know she's lucky 'cause he's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar, the only thing that keeps me wishing on a wishing star. He's the song in the car I keep singing, don't know why I do.
You know, this kind of reminds me of is when Emma falls in love. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit a different turn where when Emma falls in love is kind of like, I don't know, just talks about how awesome Emma Stone is. It's just, I find this interesting that she's actually naming a specific person here, Drew. She's happy for him, but there's also some sort of regret here, obviously. Like, obviously, she's shed tears on his guitar for this guy. I don't know if there's some sort of like romantic interest or if she just like loves him like a friend and wants the best for him. I'm thinking there's going to be a romantic interest from just the way that she's singing about Drew.
Drive home alone as I turn out the light. I'll put his picture down and maybe get some sleep tonight. 'Cause he's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar, the only one who's got enough for me to break my heart. He's the song in the car I keep singing, don't know why I do.
I've noticed she does a lot of this. You know, she basically compares emotions or certain physical objects to people or certain objects to emotions. And it seems like she started off doing this at a very young age. Like, I think this line right here, he's a song in the car that I keep singing. I think that's brilliant.
He's the time taken up, but there's never enough, and he's all that I need to fall into. Drew looks at me. I fake a smile so he won't see.
Yeah, another great little melody here. I think more than anything so far, I've been, again, impressed with the writing on this and how it does feel like she's kind of really letting us into her world. It feels kind of vulnerable from certain aspects, and she's talking a lot about her vulnerabilities, at least in these, first few songs, talking about, smiling so they won't see, or glad that they're gone so the other person can't see her crying. It seems to be that there's a certain aspect of herself at this age, at this point in her career, that she's really kind of trying to hold back from. She's trying not to let the world or certain people see certain aspects of her personality. So I think coming out at this age and singing about these things and expressing these vulnerabilities is a pretty brave thing to do. I'm not sure who Drew is. I don't really follow her love life or any of that stuff. I'm sure the comments will let me know. I'm seeing a lot of this, a lot of a fake smile so you won't see, and hiding letters underneath the bed. And it seems like this is this part of her personality, this part of herself that she's trying to keep hidden from everybody. All right, next one up is called A Place in This World.
I don't know what I want, so don't ask me, 'cause I'm still trying to figure it out. Don't know what's down this road.
Who knows when they're 16? I don't know what I want now.
I'm just walking, trying to see through the rain coming down. Even though I'm not the only one who feels the way I do, I'm alone on my own, and that's all. No, I'll be strong, I'll be wrong, or the life goes on. Oh, I'm just a girl trying to find a place in this world.
Again, I'm really excited for the Taylor version to hear this this little phrasing here specifically. I really am enjoying the mature male vocals behind these young female vocals. It feels like a touch of innocence. But this specific phrasing right here, I'm really excited to see how she's going to handle this with her more mature tone, and if she'll include this backup singer in the Taylor version as well.
Got the radio on, my old blue jeans.
She loves those jeans.
Wearing my heart on my sleeve, feeling lucky today. Got the sunshine, could you tell me what more do I need? And tomorrow's just a mystery, oh yeah, but that's okay. I'm alone on my own, and that's all. No, I'll be strong, I'll be wrong, oh, but life goes on. Oh, I'm just a girl trying to find a place in this world.
It's those little key changes that I think is going to sound fantastic on the Taylor version.
Maybe I'm just
The bells again. Ooh, mandolin?
I'm alone on my own, and that's all. No, oh, I'll be strong, I'll be wrong, oh, but life goes on. Oh, I'm alone on my own, and that's
This song could be good live.
no, oh, I'm just a girl trying to find a place in this world.
That's beautiful.
Oh, I'm just a girl. Oh, I'm just a girl. Oh, I'm just a girl.
Yeah, not a bad little jam. But I like this take on it. My understanding is, yeah, she's alone, but it's not really such a self-deprecating song that's saying, oh, woe is me. I don't have a boyfriend. Everything's crushing and crumbling down because of it. she's admitting, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to have these issues, but I'm just going to keep marching on and just doing my thing. And it is what it is. Even the general tone of the music and swing of the melody is an upbeat. Like, it feels more positive. I could see a lot of people finding solace in this song and finding comfort in this song for the reason that she's expressing that she is alone, but it's okay. I think at this point in her career, she has a bit of an understanding of what she's capable of, but she still has no idea what she's about to actually do. There's a lot of anxiety about releasing your first record, especially with a label. There's a lot of debt and things to consider. Most artists, when they get signed and they release their album, that album doesn't do well enough to actually pay back the label what the label initially offered them. So a ton of bands are basically just left in debt and then dropped from that label. So there's always this anxiety. I don't know if she had it or not, but there's definitely this anxiety about whether they're going to actually be able to see their dreams come to fruition. I think we all know the Taylor Swift story and we know where this is going, but it's just kind of cool to see the humble beginnings. Okay, next one up is called Cold as You.
So I start a fight, 'cause I need to feel something. And you do what you want, 'cause I'm not what you wanted. Oh, what a shame, what a rainy ending given to a perfect day. Just walk away, no use defending words that you will never say. And now that I'm sitting here thinking it through, I've never been anywhere cold as you.
Okay, this sounds like the end of a relationship and like the toxicity that surrounds that. Her just wanting to fight to feel something, him being cold and thinking that she's not enough. Yeah, it feels like the spiraling out of the ending of a relationship. I can't wait to hear the remastered version of this.
You put up walls and paint them all a shade of gray. And I stood there loving you and wished them all away. And you come away with a great little story of a mess of a dreamer with the nerve to adore you. Oh, what a shame, what a rainy ending given to a perfect day. So just walk away, no use defending words that you will never say.
Oh.
And now that I'm sitting here thinking it through, I've never been anywhere cold as you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You never did give a damn thing, honey, but I cried for you. And I know you wouldn't have told nobody if I died for you.
Wow.
Died for you. Oh, what a shame, what a rainy ending given to a perfect day.
Oh my God, this line here. I know I keep talking about the Taylor version that's going to be coming out, but I'm very excited to just see how she's going to shift things around and how her natural tone is going to work with this. All right, I got a lot of thoughts on this song. Let's finish it out and I'll share it for the end of it.
Oh,
Beautiful. Okay, so far this is one of my favorites. I know we're only 4 songs in, but if I had to choose a favorite, I think it'd be Tim McGraw in this one. Again, I cannot wait for the Taylor Swift version of these songs. For one, you have to keep in mind this album is almost 20 years old at this point. And while the recording technology and the sonic fidelity we're getting from this is near picture perfect, there's been a lot of advancements in mastering tracks alone. That just means giving it the absolute best sonic fidelity you can get right now. And over the last 20 years, there's been amazing advancements in that technology. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe I'm just a sucker for a sad song. I think I am, actually, from everything I listen to. So this song seems to be narrating the end of a toxic relationship, and as it's spiraling out, as like these fights keep happening, she's illustrating the emotions that you feel as things kind of fizzle out and her disdain for how cold this guy was. But it's interesting too, because she also mentions some things too that are kind of self-deprecating, wanting to fight just to feel something. So I feel like she knows, even as cold as he's being, she knows that like she's even losing interest in him as well. So maybe at the end of the day, she's pissed off at how cold he is and how discarded she feels. But she knows that she was also losing interest as well. I know I keep mentioning this song and referencing it, but it's just because I've been listening to it a lot. I love the song. It's When Emma Falls in Love. And one of the reasons I like that song so much is because Taylor really highlights what happens when she falls in love, how she kind of loses herself in it, how she gives everything to it. I think it's something Taylor obviously admires, and I think it's something that Taylor obviously does herself. When she gives her all to a relationship, when she truly adores you, it's her everything, man. And to be discarded when you're giving your everything has just got to be so impactful and hurtful. And I think she's doing a great job narrating these feelings. All right, next one up is a track called The Outside. Let's check it out. There's a great melodic force behind every one of these songs. They all have great hooks to them.
I didn't know what I would find when I went looking for a reason. I know I didn't read between the lines, and baby, I've got nowhere to go. I tried to take the road less traveled by.
Give it time, Taylor. I wish I had a time machine and I could go back to 16-year-old Taylor Swift and let her know that in a mere, in less than 20 years, she will probably be arguably the most eligible bachelor or bachelorette, I guess you could call her, on the market. I'm pretty sure she's single right now. She's worldwide superstar. She's incredibly rich and she loves with all of her heart. I mean, I would assume single guys in her age group would be tripping over themselves to get the chance to even talk to her now. So it's like one of those things, like I see the angst, I see the angle of this, and that I remember that feeling of how is everybody going to ever love me if I can never be let into their world, and seeing people from a distance and thinking, oh, that is so great, that must feel amazing, that must be this beautiful thing, and thinking I'm just not that. And I think it's something we can all relate to, and I can definitely see it here with her early beginnings in music. But I would love to just go back and be like, Taylor, you just keep doing your thing. Don't you worry. Everything is going to be okay. There's so much layering on this album. There's like 4 guitar tracks.
How can I ever try to be better?
That's pretty.
Nobody ever lets me in, and I can still see you. This ain't the best view on the outside looking in.
See, like this is one of those phrasings where I'm really excited to hear what she's going to do now. But it's also good to hear this from like that young tone. You know, there's a certain like naivety and there's a certain like innocence to it that I don't know if she can pull off now, but she definitely pulls it off here. It's going to be interesting to see and like compare the two. There it is, The Outside. It kind of reminds me of like a Sheryl Crow jam. But yeah, I mean, it's relatable, dude. We've all been there. We've all felt like, you know, we're never going to be, you know, as happy as what we see on TV or from other relationships. And it's a sad thing, man. And it's a lonely place to be in. And I've been there. I remember being a teenager and having these feelings. But man, if Taylor only knew. All right, next one is called Tied Together with a Smile.
Seems the only one who doesn't see your beauty is the face in the mirror looking back at you. You walk around here thinking you're not pretty, but that's not true. 'Cause I know you. Hold on, baby, you're losing it. The water's high, you're jumping into it and letting go. And no one knows that you cry, but you don't tell anyone that you might not be the golden one. And you're tied together with a smile, but you're coming undone.
Beautiful harmonies. I love this first line here. Seems like the only one who doesn't see your beauty is the face in the mirror looking back at you. Oh my gosh. All right. She's moving on to like role model material here.
I guess it's true that love was all you wanted, 'cause you're giving it
Pinch
away
harmonics.
like it's extra change, hoping it will end up in his pocket, but he leaves you out like a penny in the rain.
Penny in the Rain.
Oh, 'cause it's not his price to pay. It's not his price to pay. Hold on, baby, you're losing it. The water's high, you're jumping into it and letting go. And no one knows that you cry, but you don't tell anyone that you might not be the golden one. And you're tied together with a smile, but you're coming undone.
This is another one of my favorites.
Hold on, baby, you're losing it. The water's high, you're jumping into
Yeah, I think we got a new favorite in the album. Tied Together with a Smile. This one is doing it for me. I love it. I think it's a cool little jam. I even don't mind the fade out. Beautiful writing. Talks a bit about self-doubt and coming undone and reminding to stay strong. Some of the lines I don't understand, but it is very poetic for sure. This is interesting too. You cry, but you don't tell anyone. There seems to be like a sense of isolation around this album. She talks about hiding certain aspects of herself and other people hiding certain things about themselves as well. And basically the damage that causes. Yeah, man, I love this one. Sonically, this is one of my personal favorites. I think it's just beautiful. I'm excited to hear the TV version of this one as well, too, because she's doing some pretty wild stuff with her vocals. Again, it's showcasing that natural tone, that innocent tone. So it should be really interesting to hear this with her projection that she can do now. Great harmonies, too. Great harmonies in the vocals between the male singer and Taylor. That was awesome, dude. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one, actually. Tied Together with a Smile. That's my favorite so far. All right, next one is called Stay Beautiful.
Corey's eyes are like a jungle, he smiles, it's like the radio.
Who's Corey now?
He whispers songs into my window in words that nobody knows.
What about Drew?
There's pretty girls on every corner, they watch him as he's walking home, saying, does he know? Will you ever know? You're beautiful, every little piece, love. Don't you know you're really gonna be someone? Ask anyone. And when you find everything you look for, I hope your love leads you back to my door. Oh, but if you don't, stay beautiful.
Not bad.
Corey finds another way to be the highlight of my day. I'm taking pictures in my mind so I can save them for a rainy day.
I want to talk about the layering just for 1 second. So she's utilizing this male backup bass singer, and she's also layering her own voice. She's singing in a lower key and then just muting the mix just slightly. So it almost kind of sounds like him, but it's not. But it's a very interesting contrast, kind of jumping around to them. Most of the time she's singing clean, where it's just her. But every once in a while, these little accents come in, and it's a very unique approach.
It's hard to make a conversation when he's taking my breath away. I should say, hey, by the way, you're beautiful, every little piece, love.
The male vocals.
You're really gonna be someone. Ask anyone.
Clean.
And when you find everything you look for, I hope your love will lead you back to my door. Oh, but if you don't, stay beautiful.
It's very youthful.
You and I are a story that never gets told.
They're like callbacks and layering.
What you are is a daydream I'll never get to hold. At least you'll know you're beautiful, every little piece, love. Don't you know you're really gonna be someone? Ask anyone. And when you find everything you looked for, I hope your love
right, Stay Beautiful. Yeah, this one's not too bad. It's cool. I like the general tone on this one. She's actually calling somebody out, somebody named Corey. So now we have Corey and Drew. Corey seems to be this dude that she knew that seemed to be just a good, solid dude. And the girls were all kind of whispering about him and falling over themselves about him. And he probably didn't even know. Most times, guys are completely oblivious. I know, I've been. I've had conversations with people from high school that I haven't seen in years or whatever. And they've said things like, oh, she used to have the biggest crush on you, or like whatever. I'm like, wait, what? Really? Most of the time, we just don't know. Unless somebody comes directly out to dudes and like a girl says, hey, I'm into you, chances are we're probably just not going to know. I don't know. Especially when we're young. We're not very smart or astute. But this was cool, dude. I enjoyed the general tone of this. And I think it's cool. It's uplifting. You know, she seems to hold this guy in high regard. She thinks that he's, you know, a good person. And even if they don't end up together, she really just wants the best for him. So it has like this kind of cool, lighthearted, sweet vibe to it. A lot of Taylor Swift's music is very dramatic. And it's kind of brooding. And it's kind of what I was expecting from her, you know, first album. I thought it was going to be a little bit darker and a little bit more angsty since she was literally a teenager. But a lot of this, the general tone of it is pretty lighthearted. All right, next one is called Shoulda Said No. Great hook. Great accent melody.
It's strange to think the songs we used to sing, the smiles, the flowers, everything is gone. Yesterday I found out about you. Even now just looking at you feels wrong. You say that you take it all back, giving a one chance. It was a moment of weakness and you said yes. You should have said no, you should have gone home. You should have thought twice before you let it all go. You should have known that word, but what you did with her, get back to me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I should have been there in the back of your mind. I shouldn't be asking myself why. You shouldn't be begging for forgiveness at my feet. You should have said no, baby, and you might still have me.
This is kind of hard. This is a little abrasive here. All right, so obviously she was cheated on at some point. This dude had a moment of weakness, and I mean, she's absolutely right. He should have said no. You know, I've been cheated on before, and I think most people have. It's just the way it is. And it's one of the most like damaging facts of being cheated on, like somebody like deceiving you like that, is the thought process of how could you not think about me? How could you be with this person and just completely forget about me? How could you be so discarded towards me and my feelings? At least that's the way I've always taken it. And she says it right here, and I should have been there in the back of your mind. And that's exactly how I feel.
You can see that I've been crying. Baby, you know all the right things to say. But do you honestly expect me to believe we could ever be the same?
You can't. It's so hard, man. It's so hard to like keep that relationship going after there's been like a deep-seated level of like deceit, you know? I've tried, dude. I've tried to like kind of forgive and get over it because the love was just so strong. And for months, it was just, it would eat me up and it was just getting under my skin. And every time she'd go somewhere, I was in the back of my mind, it was like there. And it's such a hard thing to get over. I'm not saying you can't. There aren't people that have had moments of weaknesses in relationships and they've worked it out and they, you know, through therapy, maybe made it better. But it takes a certain kind of person to be able to forgive and forget, and forgive is really the big one. and for that trust to be built again. But it takes a certain kind of person to just be able to forgive that.
You say that the past is the past. You need one chance. It was a moment of weakness, and you said yes. You should have said no. You should have gone home. You should have thought twice before you let it all go.
The song rocks.
You should've known that word, but what you did with her, get back to me. And I should have been there in the back of your mind. I shouldn't be asking myself why.
But see, that's almost even worse. Like, if you're doing this as some kind of revenge just to get back at that other person, like, you definitely shouldn't give them another chance. I mean, I don't know like what it would take, but part of me can almost understand a moment of weakness and like whatever. Part of me, not very much of me, a very, very small part of me can kind of understand that. But if you're doing it as revenge, that takes a certain kind of fucking psychopath.
You should have said no, baby, and you might still have me. I can't resist. Before you go, tell me this. Was it worth it? Was she worth this? No, 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 no. You should have said no. You should have gone home. You should have thought twice before you let it all go. You should have known that word, but what you did with her, get back to me. And I should have been there in the back of your mind.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
Asking myself,
I'm sorry. I was just like focusing on this here. But you should have known that the word about what you did with her get back to me. Okay. All right. Sorry. I was so focused on the melody. I get lost mostly in the music, guys. But with Taylor Swift, I tend to focus on lyrics. And there I kind of drop the ball. Okay. All right. I can literally hear you guys screaming at me right now. I can visualize the comments coming in now. But you should have known that word about what you did with her would get back to me. It wasn't like she was trying to get back at. I don't think he was trying to get back at her. He should have just been smart enough to know that he would have gotten caught, I guess. Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry.
you shouldn't be begging for forgiveness at my feet. You should have said no, baby, and you might still have me.
Damn. There is some rage behind that. I don't blame her. No, I don't. It's interesting sonically how this all fits together. A lot of time with some of her more recent music that I hear, there's a very vivid contrast behind a song sounding sad and the lyrics being happy and vice versa. She does a lot of that in her music. The tonal aspect of everything is really reading like the emotion she's trying to show everybody, which I guess you kind of have to do when it's, your first album, when you're first introduced to people. You don't want to start like throwing riddles at them right away. You want them to kind of understand your general tone, outlook, and vibe. But as sad and as angry as this song is, like, it rocks, man. It's crunchy. It's got some actual rock hooks to it. And this one probably is a blast live. The dude fucked up. He fucked up. He could have had Taylor Swift right now. Maybe. Oh, what an idiot. All right, next one is Mary's song. Okay, so far we've had Drew, Corey, and now Mary.
She said, I was 7 and you were 9. I looked at you like the stars that shine in the sky. The pretty lights. And our daddies used to joke about the two of us growing up and falling in love. And our mama smiled and rolled their eyes and said, oh, my. Took me back to the house in the backyard tree. Said you'd beat me up, you were bigger than me. You never did. You never did. Took me back when our world was one black white. I dared you to kiss me and ran when you tried.
This is so fucking sweet. Oh my God. Listen to this line. Take me back to when our world was one block wide. I dared you to kiss me, then red when you tried. Oh my God. She was a fantastic lyricist right from the get-go. This is like so relatable to like me growing up. I had a best friend named Samantha growing up, and she was on my block. And yeah, we were best friends and everything. And our parents would joke around that, you know, someday we would get married or whatever. But we were always just friends. And it's just hearing the parents joke about it and like whatever. I don't know, dude. It's taking me back, man.
Well, I was 16 when suddenly I wasn't that little girl you used to see, but your eyes still shined like pretty lights. And our daddies used to joke about the two of us. They never believed we'd really fall in love. And our mama smiled and rolled their eyes.
Oh, they knew. This is so sweet.
A few years had gone and come around. We were sitting at our favorite spot in town, and you looked at me, got down on one knee. Took me back to the time when we walked down the aisle. Our whole time came and our mamas cried. You said I do. Like the stars that shine in the sky. Oh my, my, my.
Oh my God. That was gorgeous. That was so sweet, dude. It took me back to like my young friend. Oh my God, it made me reminisce. And it's so cool to see her singing and writing these songs in story format at such a young age, right from the beginning. I thought this was possibly a craft that she kind of developed later in her career, maybe like an album or two after this, but she came out kind of swinging with this. And I think it's beautiful, dude. And it's a beautiful love story at heart. And I can understand why Taylor probably likes singing about this and talking about this, because I think it's obvious at this point. I mean, Taylor's a hopeless romantic, you know, she's going to love stories and she's going to love messages like this. And I do too, honestly. Like, this made me feel really good, man. It made me reminisce, and just knowing this story about this couple that like were little kids and they were in tree houses and their world was one block wide and they threatened to beat each other up, but they never did. And the moms would always joke about them getting together, and the dads never thought it was going to happen. And then it did. And then they're 87 and 89 and they're on the porch with their own kid. Like, dude, I don't know, man. Fucking melts my heart. I'm a big fan of like, everybody makes fun of me because I like rom-coms. I like stories that have like happy endings and how it all like kind of comes together and it just has like this feel-good moment. Like, that makes me feel really good. So I watch movies like that. I watch a lot of Adam Sandler movies because of that. They're stupid as hell, but there's, at the end of the day, like it always leaves on like a high note, you know? And I think this song absolutely did it as well. Mary's song. Okay. I think I got a new favorite. I think Mary's song is now my favorite overall. So this album's not too bad at all. The Outside was awesome. Place in This World is great. Tim McGraw is awesome. Picture to Burn has that teenage angst. Teardrops on My Guitar was pretty cool. Yeah, these are all pretty good songs. Okay, so we just heard Mary's song. Now we're going to listen to the next song on the album, which is called Our Song.
I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got a one-hand feel on the steering wheel, the other collar on my heart. I look around, turn the radio down. He says, baby, is something wrong? I say nothing, I was just thinking how we don't have a song. And he says, our song is a slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window when we're on the phone and you talk real slow, 'cause it's late and your mama don't know. Our song is the way you laugh. The first date, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again.
I gotta say, before it keeps going, creative writing again, talking about our song, something, a song that people share in their relationship, and them not having a song, them just having, associated, them doing certain things to associate that defining their relationship as to opposed to certain beats and melody. I think it's pretty creative. It's great writing.
I was walking up the front porch steps after everything that day had gone all wrong and been trampled on and lost and thrown away. Got to the hallway, well on my way to my love in bed. I almost didn't notice all the roses and the note that said, our song is a slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window.
It's a fun melody.
And you talk real slow, 'cause it's late and your mama don't know. Our song is the way you laugh. The first date, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again.
It's good writing.
I've heard every album, listened to the radio, waited for something to come along that was as good as our song. 'Cause our song is a slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on his window when we're on the phone and he talks real slow, 'cause it's late and his mama don't know. Our song is the way he laughs. The first date, man, I didn't kiss him and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again. Play it again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. I grabbed a pen and an old napkin and I wrote down our song.
That was fun. That was sweet. Man, this whole album is a lot more lighthearted than I thought it was going to be. Again, setting the tone, how it started up here, riding shotgun with the hair undone. One hand on the steering wheel, one hand on her heart. Obviously, he has some sort of emotional hold on her, wondering what their song is, but the song is not a song of beats and melody, but of things that they have done and what they do, and just saying that's good, praying that they can have that song happen again. I like how it says here too, man, I didn't kiss her, and then she switches back around saying, man, I didn't kiss him. Next one is called I'm Only Me When I'm With You.
Friday night beneath the stars, in the field behind your yard, you and I are painting pictures in the sky. Sometimes we don't say a thing, just listen to the crickets sing. Everything I need is right here by my side, and I know everything about you. I don't wanna live without you. I'm only up when you're not down. Don't wanna fly if you're still on the ground. It's like no matter what I do, well, you drive me crazy half the time. The other half I'm only trying to let you know that what I small town boy and girl living in a crazy world, trying to figure out what is and isn't true. And I don't try to hide my tears, the secrets are my deepest fears. Through it all, nobody gets me like you do.
And that's very important to her. You know, her not showing these certain aspects for herself, hiding certain things, letters or emotions, and hiding that from certain people is detrimental to her. And it means a lot to her. So her saying right now, being with this person and not hiding these fears, not hiding these sides of herself, obviously is impactful.
You know everything about me. You say that you can't live without me. I'm only up when you're not down. Don't wanna fly if you're still on the ground. It's like no matter what I do, well, you drive me crazy half the time. The other half I'm only trying to let you know that what I feel is true. And I'm only me when I'm with you. When I'm with anybody else, it's so hard to be myself. And only you can tell that I'm only up when you're not down. Don't wanna fly if you're still on the ground. It's like no matter what I do, well, you drive me crazy half the time. The other half I'm only trying to let you know that what I feel is true. And I'm only me, who I wanna be. Well, I'm only me when I'm with you. With you. Yeah.
Another sweet little song here. Taylor can definitely be brutal. All right. Taylor will let you know if you have wronged her or you have discarded her in some kind of way. And she'll let the world know and she will tear you to pieces. But if Taylor loves you, this girl will love you with all of her heart. Again, this one makes me feel sweet and warm and fuzzy, but it's good, man. I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's in love here and she's feeling seen and she's feeling heard and she feels accepted. And it's just so, it really does encapsulate kind of like that teenage love feeling. All right, next one is called Invisible. Oh, jeez. Kind of reminds me of the Michael Myers theme.
She can't see the way your eyes light up when you smile.
That was pretty.
She'll never notice how you stop and stare whenever she walks by. And you can't see me wanting you the way you want her, but you are everything to me. And I just wanna show you she don't even know you. She's never gonna love you like I want to. And you just see right through me. But if you only knew me, we could be a beautiful miracle, unbelievable, instead of just invisible.
Okay, it's pretty pensive so far, and I got to go back to what I said before. Dudes, like, we just don't know, all right? If you're into us, you got to come out and just let us know, especially when we're young. We don't see the warning signs. Chances are she's probably not invisible to this person, but this guy's infatuated with this other girl. But I feel like if Taylor just came out, I mean, she seems like she's a cute kid. If she came out and said, hey, I'm into you, you know, and showed some attention towards him, I'm sure he would give her a shot.
There's a fire inside of you, can't help but shine through. But she's never gonna see the light, no matter what you
She
do.
knows, huh?
And all I think about is how to make you think I'm
Talk to him.
everything that we could be. And I just wanna show you she don't even know you. She's never gonna love you like I want to. And you just see right through me. But if you only knew me,
That's beautiful layering.
be a beautiful miracle, unbelievable, instead of just invisible. Like shadows in the faded light, oh, we're invisible. I just wanna open your eyes and make you realize. I just wanna show you she don't even know you. Baby, let me love you, let me want you. You just see right through me. But if you only knew me, we could be a beautiful miracle, unbelievable, instead of just invisible. Oh, yeah. She can't see the way your eyes light up when you smile.
I'm excited to hear the Taylor version of this one as well. Obviously, her having this very young singing voice, it has like this certain innocence to it. But knowing what her kind of tone is now and what her projection is now, this is going to be interesting when we get the TV version. So obviously this dude is into some other girl, but Taylor knows that she's never going to be into him. You know, maybe it's female intuition, or she can just read other girls and she knows when a girl is not interested in someone. So she doesn't see it ever happening. But in the other side of things, she is also interested in him and she feels invisible and she doesn't know how to get this guy's attention. And the only way to really do that is to be incredibly blunt. If you're watching this right now and you're into some guy or girl and you're young and you don't know how to get their attention, just go talk to them. Go say hello. Show interest, especially if it's a dude. We're not very astute. We just don't know. We have no idea. All right, next one is called A Perfectly Good Heart.
Why would you wanna break a perfectly good heart? Why would you wanna take our love and tear it all apart now? Why would you wanna make the very first scar? Why would you wanna break a perfectly good heart?
I wonder if she's talking about the dude that cheated on her.
Maybe I should have seen the sign, should have read the writing on the wall, and realized by the distance in your eyes that I would be the one to fall. No matter what you say, I still can't believe that you would walk away. It don't make sense to me. But why would you wanna break a perfectly good heart? And why would you wanna take our love and tear it all apart now? Why would you wanna make the very first scar? And why would you wanna break a perfectly good heart? It's not unbroken anymore. How do I get it back the way it was before?
I'm digging these solos. It does feel like that, huh? You know, your first heartbreak, like you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know if you're ever going to be the same again. You don't know if you'll ever love again or if anybody will ever love you again. And it just feels so massive. It feels like such a defining moment in your growth. And I guess to a degree it kind of is, you know? But it's the scar we must all wear. We must all deal with this at some point in our lives. You just got to wear that scar like a badge.
Why would you want to break a perfectly good heart? Why would you want to take our love and tear it all apart now? Why would you want to make the very first scar? Why would you want to break? Would you want to break it? Why would you want to break a perfectly good heart? Why would you want to take our love and tear it all apart now? Why would you want to make the very first scar? Why would you want to break a perfectly good heart?
See, I don't mind fade outs when the songs are still evolving, and that song was still evolving as it was fading out, so I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, man, we've all been there. So I think it's pretty black and white here. She's confused. Why would somebody want to throw this away? You know, how can she be discarded so easily? I think it really just comes back around to that idea of her being this hopeless romantic. And when she loves somebody, she puts her all into it. So when her heart gets broken by somebody, it's devastating. Okay, so there's one other song, and it's a pop version of a song that's already on the album. And I'm actually not going to listen to it right now because I'm assuming A Perfectly Good Heart is how she wanted to sum up this album. And this is probably some kind of bonus track. Maybe I'll do a little bit later if people want to see it. All right, so there it is. Taylor Swift's debut self-titled album. And I got to be honest, I didn't think I would really enjoy this one. I've been reading a lot of comments and people have been telling me about their favorite version of Taylor Swift, the music that they really enjoy. And it's been a mixed bag, dude. It's kind of all over the place as far as like what albums are people's favorites. There's no like definitive Taylor Swift album that's the be all end all, which is kind of cool. But I've seen a lot of comments from people saying that the first couple albums might not be everybody's cup of tea because it does have that country twist to it. And it's that country twist that made me think that I wouldn't really enjoy this that much. But in reality, I did enjoy this album. There's certain aspects of country music that I find a bit repetitive. There's too much use of that twang that I feel like is just kind of a cop-out. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, we're listening to country music here. Here it is, you know? And there is a touch of that here and there in the album, but I don't feel like it's overused. Now, another reason why I thought that I really wouldn't enjoy this album is because, believe it or not, I'm not a 16-year-old girl. I'm much older and also a man. But I was a teenager at one point in my life. I do remember these feelings. I do remember loss and wanting and feeling alone in that isolation that comes with the teenage experience. I think everybody does. And I think that's what kind of makes these songs relatable. And that's difficult to do. You know, that's difficult to do, to put out an album that's essentially almost 20 years old at this point, and it still feels current. And I'm not even talking about the writing. I'm talking about the sonic fidelity of this album, the general instruments, the tones and the melodies and the foundation of the structure and melody. When it comes to the writing, that's what I was really impressed by. I love the story-driven nature of this album. I love how a song starts off and it basically opens the stage as to where they are. Are they lying in a field? Are they on a porch? You're in some kind of place. And as the song progresses, then we're introduced to characters, sometimes even by name. And then we're introduced to the story, what's happening, what's going on, and how does that make the person feel. And every song is written like a story. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Sometimes it's a happy ending, sometimes it's not. And generally, the tone, the actual fidelity of the song is expressing that emotion, which is cool, very easy to understand. But the album really does. It touches on the teenage experience, that young person's experience of going through life wondering if they're enough, wondering why and how somebody could leave them, dealing with deceit and celebrating love. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little biased at this point since I've heard a couple Taylor Swift albums. I've seen some documentaries and I have this kind of newfound respect for her. I'm not sure if I would have felt this way exactly having listened to this album before I heard any Taylor Swift, but I can tell you right now that I definitely appreciate it knowing what I know now. Okay, so the next step of this reaction journey really comes down to you guys, everybody watching right now. If you know of any live clips, live performances, concerts, interviews with her, any sort of documentaries associated with her first debut album, please share them with me and I'll be sure to react to them and upload them here and everything. That's kind of what I've been doing with the other albums. But this was fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry that I didn't do Midnights, but I can promise you that I will. I've just decided going in chronological order is probably the best for my own experience. And I understand that's a little bit selfish, and hopefully you can forgive me. But that's going to do it. I guess I'll see you guys all in the next one. You have a wonderful night. Bye now.